Ambassador Vincenzo de Luca, you're Italy's ambassador to India, and we welcome you to this interview. And thank you so much for giving your time to speak with India Global Business.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having with you.
Ambassador De Luca, I'd like to focus my first question on the global pandemic. Both Italy and India have gone through the pretty tough challenges. Italy went through a very, very difficult first wave of the pandemic, and it managed to overcome the challenges of the pandemic. Similarly with India, India went through the first wave and managed to overcome the challenges, but it was hit pretty hard by a very, very devastating second wave. But Italy has provided a lesson to the rest of the world on how to deal with the pandemic. What did Italy do specifically to overcome the threat from the COVID-19 after the early pressures? And how did you overcome the challenges that were imposed upon you? After all, the Indian Prime Minister has been on record saying that India has learned some very valuable lessons from Italy during the first wave.
Thank you very much for this question. As you know, Italy was the first country after China affected by COVID-19 last year. In the month of March, for the first time, we introduced the lockdown, a severe lockdown, I would say. For more than 45 days in Italy, all the activities were blocked, except for the essential services and for the production of food and the essential goods. It was a very difficult decision taken by the government of Italy. And also we introduced some measures like physical distances, using masks after the lockdown, and also reopening the activity gradually in order to avoid the spread of the infection. After Italy, also other countries adopted similar measures. And India was one of the first countries to introduce a national lockdown last year, you remember. So I think it was an important case and an important experience that we shared with Indian authorities, with the Indian people, with Indian hospital. We promoted exchange of experiences between Italian hospitals and Indian hospitals. We received aid from Italy at that period, from India at that period. And also we collaborated a lot with the Indian authorities for the repatriation of the Italians who were here together with other European citizens, and from the repatriation of Indians from Italy to India. So it was a very important experience of collaboration, of solidarity, of friendship. Not only. We also had some webinar at the level of the principal advisors of the two Ministry of Health in that period. And also we launched some research project that will be implemented this year in the area of health services, treatment, and pandemics. So it's a very important step in the enhancement of the partnership between Italy and India. But also, as you know, Italy hosted the last 21st of May, the first G20 Health Summit, with the participation of also of non-G20 countries. And we adopted the Rome Declaration. The Rome Declaration, for the first time ever, established the principles and guidelines in the fight against COVID. We promoted the One Health approach. That means multi-sectoral policies addressing risks emerging from human-animal environmental interface. We promoted the policies for a reliable supply chain in the framework of a multilateral trading system, a coordination in emergency system. And we helped a lot India in the last second wave, providing oxygen and medical material from Italy with 3 flights here in India, in Delhi. In the Rome Global Health Summit, we also defined some mechanisms to finance long-term pandemic preparedness. Access to vaccination was one of the other items of the global summit. And not only we promote this multilateral platform that will be further developed and implemented by the international organization and by the G20 that will be a driver in the campaign against the pandemics, but our Prime Minister Mario Draghi suggests also to introduce a patent waiver in COVID-19 vaccine. That was also a request from India and other countries. And Italy pledged 300 million euro for the COVAX facilities. You know, COVAX is an important initiative to give access to vaccine in the least developed countries. Because our principle is that no one is safe until everybody is safe. And also we provided 200 million euro for climate and health in poor countries. And also we will provide 15 million doses of COVID-19 vaccine in low income countries in the coming months. So an important commitment of Italy as president of G20, as member of G20, in coordination with European Commission, because the Global Health Summit was jointly organized by the presidency of G20 and the presidency of European Commission.
Thank you, sir, for your answer. Very well appreciated that. It also, in the course of your answer, you detailed out a lot of involvement between India and Italy. It goes to show that both countries value the current status of the ties that exist between them. Italy is a very key country for India in the European Union. You are the 5th largest trading partner for India in the European Union. And both countries are very, very keen to expand their engagement in economic areas and other areas. On a personal level, and echoing the policies of your government, where do you see the growth in the future as ties between the two countries continue to get firmer?
The last few years, we have seen an important enhancement of the strategic partnership between Italy and India. In the last digital summit between Prime Minister Modi and the time Prime Minister Conte from Italy, we adopted for the first time a plan of action of 5 years, focused on priority areas, the same areas where there is an increasing partnership between European Union and India. So I think we have now all the tools and the condition to further increase investment in the framework of making India and self-reliant India. For us, is a principle that we will follow in the coming years, in the trade relationship, and also I would say in the technology and research field, where I think we have a potential to do more. So the last summit and the plan of action paved the way for further strategic relationship between Italy and India. We want to increase the Italian investment here in India and the Indian investment in Italy. Especially after Brexit, I think Italy could be an important country in the European Union market for investment from India, from Indian companies in advanced technology area. So I am very optimistic about the development of this special relationship. And also in the year of COVID, the year 2020 and 2021, we have launched 14 new investment projects here in India. COVID didn't stop this special relationship, but reinforced the friendship and solidarity and partnership. So I am I look forward to further relations, investment, cooperation, and partnership between the two countries.
Thank you, sir. Just coming to something more light, and that is the factor and topic of food. Everybody is very well aware of Italian cuisine. It's famous all over the world. Everybody loves it. It is diverse and it depicts the various cultures that Italy brings to the world. And the same comes with India as well. Indian food and cuisine showcases the diversity of India. Italy recently launched the Mega Food Park in India, and it was a unique project. What prompted the Italian administration to pursue this idea as a focus of investment?
You rightly say that Italian cuisine is known all over the world, is popular all over the world. But what is behind the Italian cuisine? There is a sustainable agriculture, a diversified production, a biodiversity, but also a lot of technology in all the food processing chain. And this is the new partnership between Italy and India. We want to share technology, expertise, know-how, and we launched this pilot project with a mega food park in Gujarat. In this pilot project, we involved the companies from Italy and from India, regions like important regions and states like Gujarat in India, that is an important state for food production, and Emilia-Romagna, that is in the front, the forefront of technology for food processing, and also the Italian Export Credit Agency, the Italian Trade Promotion Agency. What is this project? The project is to create all the conditions for having sharing of technology from Italy, acquisition of technology from Italy to India, and also training, sharing experience, because the problem is not only having technology, is also know-how and how to make in the most efficient way the food processing chain, trying also to have a positive impact in CO2 emission and the environmental impact. So this is the reason of this project. Is a very innovative project we launched in the last few weeks, and we will replicate this project in other food parks here in India, because the innovation is to create a sort of matchmaking between association, governments, institution, private sector, and promotion agency in the two countries. We have launched also a very important digital platform with Invest India, a very successful one. We have organized 100 of events with Italian companies and Indian partners, Italian association and Indian authorities. Invest India has been proved to be a very effective agency in attracting foreign investment, and we have a special relationship with this agreement for a digital platform with Invest India.
Obviously, there are a lot of areas of collaboration and potential for growth when it comes to expanding ties between India and Italy. But according to you, where do you think is the area that offers the most potential for growth in trade between the two nations?
I think we have to address the most challenging fields of the two countries. One of the most important challenge here in India and in Italy is energy transition vis-à-vis the ambitious targets established in Paris COP25 and towards COP26 in Glasgow. We are preparing a platform of cooperation, partnership, and investment in energy transition aimed at increasing the sharing of technology and increasing the quality and the number of investment here in India in renewable energy. We have one of the leading companies in the world, Enel, that is already an important investor here in India. Smart grid, we have the most important transmission operator in Europe, Terna, that is also looking for investment and partnership here in India. Digitalization of electricity grid, both Enel and Terna. Efficiency of the management of gas grid with SNAM, that is the first operator of gas infrastructure in Europe. Hydrogen, again with SNAM. Green chemical with an important player in the world, that is Eni, and also biofuel together, Eni and Maire Tecnimont. And I would add also electric mobility, where we have here Piaggio that launched a three-wheel electric vehicle here in India. So we have a sort of 360-degree kind of partnership in energy transition. We can be one of the most important partners in the world of India, knowing that we have really a forefront technology in energy transition, and energy transition is a pillar of the Italian recovery plan in the framework of the EU Next Generation Plan. So I think this is one of the most promising area, together with science and technology, where we have launched the call for new joint research projects here in India with the Department of Science and Technology in area like new material, clean energy, new and sustainable material, programs for addressing the health challenges, resilient infrastructures. We are member also of the CDRI, and also we joined the International Solar Alliance. I think in the last 2 years, we have really made important progress in the partnership between Italy and India. And these are all the promising fields where we can further develop our collaboration. Also, defense and aerospace industry are always a part of the important Italian productive system. So I think also in this field, we can do more. We have already many investment here from Fiat FCA Group that opened also a digital hub in Hyderabad last January. We have important investment from Piaggio, from Danieli in the steel machinery, and also in many other sectors. In shipbuilding, Fincantieri, one of the most important companies in Europe, signed an agreement with the Cochin port in the last digital summit. And also in the film and movie industry, we have a special relationship with FICCI, and we were country partner last year of FICCI Frame 2020. We organized a matchmaking between Italian movie producers and India Bollywood, let's say, producers. And we would like also to have more production from Bollywood in Italy, because Italy is one of the best area where you can have a film production, and we have an increasing interest from India. And the same, we can also have producers from Italy to India. But more in general, in all the cultural industry, either movie industry, design, fashion, we can do more. And we have organized some events also with the participation of the Italian brands and Indian retailers and Indian brands. And also in design, India is one of the most important countries that will be invited to Salone del Mobile, that is the most important design fair in the world, that will take place in Milan next September. We have a fashion school here in India, very important, the most important one, Marangoni. And I can tell you that the highest number of students in Milan of Marangoni school comes from India, not from China, not from the US, from India. 26% of the students of fashion school in Milan comes from India. This is also some similarities between Italy and India. The tradition of handcraftsmanship and also fashion and also creativity is a communality between Italy and India. We went to work on this asset of our bilateral relationship.
Some very, very interesting insights that you pointed out, especially in design and filmmaking and other areas of creativity. My final question to you, you had earlier said that the pandemic did not stop India and Italy from signing multiple agreements on diverse platforms. I think at last count, it was around 14, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
And there's a 4-year action plan, as you also detailed out, mentioning a number of areas of expansion. Have you also set up a mechanism where this plan is constantly being monitored for progress?
Yes, we have an institutional mechanism that is the Joint Economic Commission that will take place in the coming months before September, certainly. And we will have a sort of review of the implementation of the action plan in that occasion. But we have daily meetings with all the Indian authorities, and we work on all the projects, a lot of projects in the economic, in the cultural fields. And also, of course, we have increased also the number of political meetings at the level of the governments, also in the framework of the new partnership between European Union and India. There was also the summit in Oporto. Our Prime Minister attended the summit. We will have also bilateral summit. We will have, of course, the participation of Indian government to all the G20 events in Italy this year. So we have a very, very intense agenda for 2021 and for the coming years. Thank you so much for this interview.
Ambassador Vincenzo de Luca, thank you so much for sharing your time with us and your views. They were very interesting and we learned a lot from it. I hope that we can also speak to you again whenever your schedule permits to speak with us. So we are very grateful for your time, sir. So thank you so much.
With great pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.